Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. I'm going to put together another odds and ends video for you guys this week. Things have been kind of crazy the last couple of weeks. Haven't had a lot of time to get out in the shop for various reasons. One being that my home shop has actually been having some improvements done to it. We're going to do a shop update in a little bit and kind of show you what's going on out there, but things are in disarray over there right now. It's probably going to be a little while before I can do much in there work-wise, but we're making progress on the shop itself, so that's good. But we've also got a couple of items over here that have come in the mail in the past few weeks, so I want to go through those and also tell you about an event that I'm going to be at here coming up in about a month that some of you may be interested in participating with. So let's get started. So let's start out by telling you guys about an event that I'm going to be coming to here in about a month, a little over a month from now. So September 29th through October 2nd is going to be this year's ArnFest event, A-R-N-F-E-S-T. ArnFest, Arn being a play on words on iron. But this is a group of guys and gals that are interested in old machinery, whether it be woodworking, metalworking, what have you. Quite honestly, this event got started off of the old woodworking machines discussion forum. It's grown some since then, and it's actually people who are not just involved there, but in some other places too. But it's really grown over the last, I think this is either the 11th or 12th year that we've done it, and it's turned into quite an event. So it's going to be held again this year where it's always been held at, and that's at the Illinois Railway Museum, which is in Union, Illinois. So kind of outside the Chicago area, kind of to the west of Chicago a little ways. It's kind of out in a somewhat rural area, very nice setting. And of course, Railway Museum, lots of old trains, lots of neat stuff. We kind of take over the wood shop area. They graciously allow us access to that for our group. This event every year, and we kind of have some private areas there that are not open to the general public that we are able to host this event at. But I'm looking very forward to going. September 29th is on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is kind of what this event stretches over. Saturday is really kind of the big event. That's the main day. People start usually coming in on that Thursday. Friday we have some events going on out at the museum. Again, Saturday we have the big event. That's we have a swap meet that morning. There'll be lots of people out there tailgating with tools, machinery, what have you, selling. If you want to bring some stuff to sell, you can bring it up there. There's no extra charge other than registration to participate in that. And there's all kinds of stuff going on during the day. A lot of fellowship, people just talking, getting to know each other. They usually have some demonstrations, people putting on some demos on restoration techniques and what have you. I haven't seen the final agenda yet, so I'm not exactly sure what all's going to be there. And then on Saturday night, we usually have a banquet, kind of a banquet, and we'll have a silent auction as well as a live auction. And that's held at the Crystal Lake Holiday Inn in Crystal Lake, Illinois. Is where we'll be at for that. So if you're interested in coming, I would recommend you go to the website, ArnFest.com, and there's all kinds of information there about registering, prices, so forth. I think you do have to register ahead of time. There are limited spaces for this, so once it fills up, it's not really something you just kind of show up on the day of the event and necessarily be able to buy a ticket for. So you need to go ahead and do that ahead of time. I think the full weekend deal is like $75. We have to pay the Illinois Railway Museum. That includes the banquet, which is the meal and everything that's included there. If you're only interested in coming on Saturday, they have a little bit cheaper pass for Saturday only without doing the banquet. So there's different options for registration, just depending on what you want to do. I plan on being there. Not sure about other YouTube creators right now. There's some folks kind of thinking about it, but it'll be a great time. Like I said, I've been going to this for many years, and I'm looking forward to it. I've made a lot of friends out there that I see every single year, and it's just a lot of fun for me. So hope that some of you guys out there, if you live up in that area or not too terribly far away, it's a good chance to meet up with some like-minded people and talk about old machines and machining, woodworking, restoration, whatever. we'll be talking about it all there. If nothing else, just come to the swap meet on Saturday morning is worth it. But again, you have to register to be able to get into the swap meet. It's not open to the general public. So there you go. Hope to see some of you guys September 29th through October 2nd on all or part of those days. And I'm looking forward to being there and hopefully seeing some of you guys. So I thought I'd show you guys these indicators again. So I've been at it and sent up a few more indicators up to Mark Ratowski at MR Tool Repair for him to go through and kind of refurb for me, and got back 3 more that I sent in. I'm about to get caught up on my indicators here, but Mark did another excellent job fixing these up for me. These again were they were mostly there, but they just had some issues. They were all a little bit sticky, not really working just right. He took them apart, cleaned them, repaired broken parts, put new crystals on them, and you know, these things are just in excellent shape now. So got 2 little federals here. This one here is a 1/10 indicator, so it's measuring down to a 10,000ths of an inch. This one here measures in half 10,000ths, so another very precision. And then we got a little Intrepid half 10,000ths test indicator here. So all of them precision indicators, and once again, Mark did just an outstanding job restoring these, getting them back to just like brand new. And you know, these are, if you have to go buy these, I mean, these 3 indicators, if you were to go buy them brand new, you're probably looking at over $1,000 in those 3 indicators. And these were basically, I picked them up as junk. Well, these 2, this one here was sent to me. It was actually in pretty good shape, but these 2 here I picked up literally for junk, and sent them to him. I think the total bill on these were, I don't know, $130 or something to be redone, and well worth the money. Well worth the money. You know, I've got some very nice instruments here that we can use. So if you're interested and got some old tools or whatever you want to have Mark look at, here's his contact information. Shoot him an email. He's on Facebook. He's actually got a group on Facebook. He can tell you about your stuff. You can send him some pictures, and he can probably tell you what he can do, what he can't do. When you send something to him, he'll look at it. He'll give you a quote on fixing it, and you get to decide whether you want to do it or not. And very easy to work with, and pretty fast turnaround. So highly recommend Mark. Thanks, Mark. So next we got a couple of items that were sent in to me from Jared Ulrich, and Jared lives up in New Hampshire, and he had a couple of books and a couple other little items he wanted to send, so we'll cover these in just a minute. So let's look at the books first. This one here is kind of interesting. It's on steam boilers, and it's copyrighted 1912, so it's a all old school book on steam boilers. A lot of riveted stuff going on here. Very interesting. A lot of information in here, so we'll definitely go in my library and have a place of honor there. So this one was printed in 1912. It looks like the 3rd edition. 2nd edition was 1904, and I don't see when the 1st edition was, but anyway, very nice book. The other one here is really kind of interesting to me. So this is the calculation of horsepower made easy. And so it's so easy to calculate horsepower, they had to write a whole book on it. But actually, guys, the whole story behind what we call horsepower today and how it came to be it's a pretty interesting story. And anyway, this book here is all about how they would calculate horsepower back in the day. And let's see, this book here, I thought I saw a date on here, early 1900s. I thought I saw a date in here. There's a couple of things in here. Okay, so 1905 is the copyright, and it says 1905 patent. So that's probably about when this one was printed. Very interesting. Jared also sent along a little bag here full of oilers of various kinds, and these come in handy definitely for restoring old machines and stuff. So some old school oilers. you know, you can still buy some stuff like this, but the old stuff is, it's just, I don't know, it's just different. So it's kind of cool to see this. So those will probably end up in some restoration at the museum, or maybe even my own shop, I don't know. And then he sent this along as a mystery tool. Let me zoom in on there. So he sent this along and he said, this is a mystery tool. And he says, it's not obvious at first why it would be a mystery tool. It's just a little 1/4" drive screw handle. He said, but if you look at it closely, you'll see why it's a mystery tool. And I think it says it here, Snap-on, made in USA, but I think I see why he's calling it a mystery tool. And quite honestly, I don't know the answer to this. So, you know, you got a little ball down here to hold your socket on, but there's also a little ball up on this end, and I have no idea why that's there. Anybody have a clue? Somebody may know. Like I said, it says it's made by Snap-on. Snap-on manufacturers, made in USA. But what is this little ball detent for? Any clues? Anyway, we'll see if anybody can figure it out. I don't know. So if you got an answer, I'd love to hear it. So Jared also sent along a couple of stickers to go on my sticker board that I don't have yet. Brake for Moose, it could save your life, in Brew, New Hampshire. So guys, you know, we're working on the shop. As soon as I get some walls up, then I can get me a whiteboard or something in there where I can put all my channel decals and stickers and what have you on there, and I'm really looking forward to that, and we're making progress. Again, I got a shop update coming at the end of this video, and I think you'll enjoy seeing some of the improvements that we've done out there in the last week or two. So there you go, Jared, thanks a lot for the goodies, the books, particularly the books. Really love those, and these little items here will definitely be nice to have around as well. And with that, we'll get on to a couple other items here I want to show you. So next item here is a nice item that came from Jeremy Landon. Jeremy lives down in Florida, and viewer of mine, he contacted me. He said, had this for sale. It was at a very reasonable price, and I decided it would be a good addition to the shop. So we made a deal and bought this. But nice metal case, says Federal on the top. Of course, Federal made dial indicators and other measurement tools. Open it up, and what we have is a giant 0 to 6 inch dial indicator here. So pretty cool. It's got this scale up here where you can visually see, you know, 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and of course read it in thousandths of an inch around the face here. Seems to be working pretty good. Anyway, I just thought that this was a good deal, so we bought it. But very, very cool. Like the metal box that it's in. Looks like it's been well taken care of. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. Seems to be pretty smooth. Anyway, he was asking $115 for it, which included shipping, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I've actually been wanting a bigger dial indicator. You know, sometimes I don't have a digital readout on the lathe, so sometimes you need to have something like this on the cross slide to measure. You know, I can do an inch pretty easily, but this gives me a little bit larger range. So anyway, I'm sure this will come in handy along the way. And in addition to this, he also included these. Let me take these out. So you may say, well, what are those? Some of you know exactly what these are, but these are little punches, little transfer punches. So they're threaded, and in the very center you have a center punch, and what you can do is if you have a plate or something that has holes in it that are threaded, you can thread these up in there and lay it on top of another piece, tap it down, or use some Dicam or whatever, and it'll transfer the centers of these holes. So if you need to match up two parts, you can just manually do it. So these are just some little holders that hold these and keep them organized. And he sent along 4 different sizes. Put these back in here and I'll tell you what they are. So we got 5/16 18, we got 1/4 20, we got 10/32s and 8/32s. And you know, I think I bought some of these little buttons one time before. I can't remember what size, but they were on a card. They didn't come in this nice little container to hold them in. But these are really nice. And these are, what are these made by? Hellman Manufacturing. Or Hyman. H-E-I-M-A-N-N Manufacturing. Hyman Manufacturing. That one there's, it looks like a E, but it's an I. Anyway, very nice to have those as well. That'll be a very nice addition to the toolbox. Like I said, I've used some of these. I've had to buy some one time. I can't remember what size they are, but these will be very nice to have. Thanks a lot for sending those along, Jeremy. So next thing here, we got a whole bunch more horizontal mill cutters, and if you watch my last couple of episodes of Odds and Ends, you've been seeing some of these coming in, and these were actually, I think this is the last of my stuff that I picked up out at the Bardsley Summer Bash, and they finally made it to me. So again, if you didn't remember it from before, Tom Lipton, YouTube creator from out in California. If you haven't, go check out his channel. He brought along a bunch of horizontal milling cutters. He basically gave them, we're giving them away. So James Green, YouTube creator from New Mexico, go check out his channel. But James ended up getting them all, bringing them home, and the two of us kind of split them up. And he was kind enough to take these home, go through them, clean them up, throw away the garbage. He soaked everything in Evaporust, got it cleaned up, and he kind of went through everything and he sent me, I think, 5 or 6 big flat rate boxes full of horizontal milling cutters, and these are the last of them. So here there's, I don't know, 60, 65 cutters or so here on the table, ranging from, you know, involute cutters for cutting gears. Here's some special forms for putting flutes and reamers, for making tooling. Just a lot of you know, regular straight cutters. Got some really nice slab mills here for doing wide, flat surfaces. Got a whole bunch of real thin and large cutters. Just a really nice selection. You know, some of this stuff I quite honestly never need, but you just never know what you need until you need it. So it's nice to have this. So anyway, many thanks to Tom Lipton for first off bringing it, and to James Green for taking it home with him, cleaning it up, packing it up. He did an outstanding job packing the stuff. It took me over an hour just to take it. He had all these things wrapped up in shrink wrap, or you know, the plastic wrap, to protect them while they were being mailed. And like I said, it took me over an hour just to get all this stuff out where I could see it all. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys. I really do appreciate it. This will be a wonderful addition for the horizontal mill. In addition, James threw in a couple of pretty cool early keyless chucks here. I believe that may be a Brown and Sharp taper. Doesn't look like a Morse taper. This one's made by the Skinner Chuck Company, New Britain, Connecticut. This looks like a pretty early one. And then this one is made by Union Manufacturing. This looks like a Morse taper. It looks like a 1, and it's got a number 1 to 2 adapter on there, it looks like. Both of these keyless chucks, but pretty cool. So James, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're an outstanding dude. I really appreciate you taking the time and effort to do this for me. I know you got a bunch of cutters out of the deal as well, but you went above and beyond helping me out, since I couldn't really bring them back on the airplane, and that is greatly appreciated. I owe you big time, so thanks a lot. Well, time to do a little shop update for you guys. We're out in the new shop, and I am very happy to say that after a pretty long wait, I've got some insulation in here, and I'm pretty excited. Now, I know some of you guys are looking at this saying, that's not what he said he was going to do. So plan A was, and what I really was wanting to do is I was wanting to put spray foam insulation up in the ceiling to insulate this thing out. I got a couple of quotes on it, and guys, it was going to cost a lot of money. And literally for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, I've been saving and saving and saving, trying to get to that point to get the spray foam put in. And I was starting to get in the ballpark. I said, well, I'm going to get a couple more quotes. So I'd only had 1 quote, so I called around a couple other people. They came out, and one of the guys, local guy here that does insulation installation, he came out, gave me a quote for doing the spray foam in the ceiling. But he mentioned about well, what about bats? And I said, well, you know, I was wanting to do spray foam, but I said, well, how much would you charge for bats? Well, he gave me a quote for doing just the ceiling, which is what I was after doing. And when he gave me the quote, I'm like, is that all? And I went back to him, I said, well, how much to just do the whole shop, walls, everything? He came back again with another quote, and let's just say that it was a little less than half of what it was going to cost to just do the ceiling and spray foam to do the whole shop with fiberglass, you know, bats. So we've got R30 up in the ceiling here, we got R13 on the walls, and wow, what a difference it makes. Took them about 2 days to do this, and quite honestly, guys, these contractors that I got to do it, they can buy the insulation so much cheaper than I can going to the, you know, home improvement stores or whatever, because they're buying it in quantity. I mean, that's what these guys do. Even with the installation, it was almost what it was going to cost me just to buy the fiberglass and me do it myself. So I had them come in here, like I said, it took them about 2 days, and they had this knocked out. So difference in temperature, is it hot in here? Yeah, it's still hot in here. You know, right now today, I think it's about 96 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Inside the shop right now, it's about 90 degrees, so we're cooler than outside. And 90 degrees Fahrenheit, let me do the conversion here. That looks like about 33 degrees Celsius for you metric guys. So yeah, it's still warm in here. But to give you a comparison, on a 96 degree day with the sun out before we had the insulation, the temperature inside the shop would be about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a good 20 degrees Fahrenheit cooler in here with the insulation. And I can turn a fan on right now, and yeah, it's warm in here, but it's tolerable, it's bearable. And I hope that at some point in time I can get some air conditioning in here. That's going to be down the road, but that's something I'd very much like to do at some point in time. For me, heating is not an issue. I live in South Georgia. We live in a pretty warm part of the country. The winters here are fairly mild. You know, a cold winter for us, you know, I'll be honest, when it's too cold to go out to the shop and work, I just don't go out to the shop and work. It's 2 or 3 days a year. The rest of the time, I can throw a sweatshirt on, come out here and work without heat. But in the summertime, even spring and fall, it's just unbearably hot. So for me, keeping things cool is a lot more important than keeping them hot, keeping them warm in the winter. So, you know, one thing you probably noticed is behind me here, this is all open. And we had to move everything. So they came in, I basically moved everything in the shop over to this one bay right here. I got a couple of college guys to come out. We got some pallet jacks. We moved everything in, got it all piled in. They came in, did this side of the shop. And then that night, we came and basically moved everything from this side over to this side, and they came in and finished. So there's a lot of moving, and I've still got stuff piled up. Let me give you a shot of that. So here I am with everything piled on this side. So this is part of the reason why I've been really trying hard not to move too much stuff in here, because we had to get all this stuff moved around for them to do the work up in the ceilings. Next step for me is I want to get something actually covering the ceilings. I'm debating right now as to whether I'm going to put plywood up there or some corrugated metal. Man, I just keep going back and forth. You know, I know drywall, you guys say, why not drywall? You got the fire rating and all that. I just don't want it to be white. I want this to keep the look of a rustic barn, and I want to keep a lot of wood and whatever. I'm actually, right now, I haven't got any prices yet, but I'm going to look real hard at that metal, like a tin roof type material to go in there. I think it would really look cool, and price-wise, I'm hoping it's going to be in the ballpark of what it would cost to get plywood. I've got a quote for doing plywood, or at least buying the material, but I'm going to try to get at least part of the ceiling done fairly quickly. It may take a month or so, but hopefully I can get that done, and I'm going to probably try not to move too much of this stuff until then. Bad news is that the lathe that I'm restoring, the LeBlond, it's back in there somewhere, and it's really hard for me to get out here and work on it right now. I don't know, we may have to dig that out depending on how long it takes to get the ceiling going here. We'll just have to see. But that project may just get put on hold for a little while out of necessity. I don't know. It's not what I want to do, but I may just have to keep from having to move this stuff too many times. But anyway, I thought you guys would enjoy One thing you're probably noticing, at least I hope it picks up on video or audio, before when I was out here in the shop, you really picked up a lot of echo. But with this insulation in here, it's just a lot, you don't really get that. The acoustics in here are a lot better, which I think will help me a lot on my videos. It's one thing I'm a little concerned with on the metal roof. If I go with the metal ceiling, whether I'll get some of that back. But I've talked to some folks, I've actually been in some shops that have the metal ceiling, and they say when you got the insulation right behind it, it doesn't reverberate as bad as if it's the metal on the roof, and there's not that insulation will damper a lot of it. So anyway, still on the fence what I'm going to do there. Anyway, I thought you guys would enjoy the shop update. I know I'm pumped about it. We're finally getting things going again. It's just taking me a little while to save up the money to be able to get this far along. So one last thing here I want to show you guys. I just picked this up this weekend. Found this on eBay. Within driving distance, this is a couple hours from me. But this is a nice brown and sharp 24 by 36 inch precision surface plate. Black granite. It's on this original brown and sharp stand. Somebody came in and built a wooden cabinet to go in here. I've got to do something about the locks, but they put a nice little cabinet in here. It was fairly nicely done. So anyway, I'm excited to have a bigger surface plate now for the shop. This is going to be a huge help for me. This is something I've been needing. I've got the two ledges on it, one on each side. Anyway, very nice surface plate. I'm probably going to see about getting this, sending it off, or having someone come in and lap it and check it for flatness, just to make sure. You know, looking at it, I'm guessing this thing was probably made back in the 60s or early 70s, just looking at the tag over here on it, the fonts and all that. And it came out of a tech school, I think. It's got a tag on here. It says North Carolina Board of Education, Department of Community Colleges. When I got it, it had this nice plywood cover covering up the top of the surface. So I think it was probably pretty well taken care of. This was on it, so I think that really probably helped protect, nice tight fit, help protect that surface. There are a few little scratches in here, but nothing terrible. And you know, I haven't done anything to check this out, but just looking at it, there doesn't seem to be any wear or abuse on it, so it should be in pretty good shape. But we're probably going to get it lapped and just check for flatness, just to be on the safe side. The surface plate, by the way, it was $300. Like I said, found it on eBay. Went and picked it up from the person who had it, and worked it. I think it's going to work out great for me. So with that, I think we're at a wrap. So as always, guys, I appreciate everybody out there watching, subscribing, giving the like button. I do want to just make a quick comment again. You know, we started Patreon about a month or so ago, and I'm blown away with the number of you guys that are participating in that. And quite honestly, the Patreon support is really what's helping me, pushing me over the edge to be able to get this installation and some other things done in the shop. So by no means am I, you know, asking people outright to go sponsor me on Patreon, but if that is something you want to do, and feel like you just feel led to do it, it's there. You can do it. If you can't do it, no big deal, guys, no big deal. But I really do appreciate the ones that have jumped on that campaign. It blows me away. And again, that's what's helping me get this shop moving along, and I greatly, greatly appreciate all that support. So with that, we'll talk to you later. See you real soon. Thanks.